He's got his own spot in the first question. Tell you what, life is good.
I got a trash can over there.
Vinny, what do you got, man?
I'm joking. Last 9 games, how important is it for you to settle on one second unit, or do you see some advantage to being able to kind of mix and match and play to the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that we have to find a way to get our second unit going, and for them to be consistent. Our starting unit the whole year has been one of the best 5-man groups in the league. So finding a way to help that second unit with 9 to go is definitely important going into the postseason. You know, when you get to the playoffs, the rotation can be cut down even more, so we can look at that as well. But you know, right now the second unit has been Jamal out there with Christian, out there with Bruce, out there with Jeff, and out there with Zeke. And that's what we're going to plan on going with for right now. But like in the Brooklyn game, Christian got 3 quick fouls. Reggie came in, he stayed ready, he did a good job. Might be nice where we throw Thomas Bryant or Blotko out there. But with 9 games to go, it gives us an opportunity to try to come up with a grouping that can give us some success in the postseason.
How do you evaluate Jeff, Flacco, and Zeke, and how do you evaluate which duos you want to put out there?
Yeah, it's been hard. You know, everybody wants a consistent grouping, but it's really hard when you don't have a consistent grouping available. You know, I mean, we've had guys that have been in and out of that lineup. So there's a stretch where Zeke plays well, and he hurts his shoulder. There's a stretch where Vodko plays well, then he gets hurt, his wrist. There's a stretch where Jeff plays well, he hurts his wrist. So, you know, what we're looking for is just a grouping, a front court grouping off the bench that can just find a way to defend, rebound, run, and help us on both ends. And that's, let's be honest, that's been a challenge for 73 games now. And we've had stretches where it's gone well, and obviously we've had stretches where it hasn't gone well. And that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on our starting group so they have to come back in all the time. So we'll continue to look at it. I think Zeke being back the last couple of games, it's great to have his energy and versatility. Latko, obviously, he's a really skilled playmaking, shot-making big that can guard different positions. And Jeff, obviously, I think, you know, going into the All-Star break and out, has played at a fairly high level as well. So tough decisions ahead, but we'll make them accordingly.
Do you feel like the team has come out of whatever rut or slump they were in a couple weeks back?
Yeah, I mean, losing 4 in a row is never fun. Obviously, when it started with just a blowout loss to Chicago, which is, prior to that, I think we had 3 or 4 losses by a combined 8 points. So that was a head scratcher. And then you follow that over to San Antonio, on the road, Brooklyn, at home, and then you go to Toronto for the 4 losses. Can I say we're completely out of it? I don't know. I mean, the first half against Washington, I didn't think we played great. And I thought we were just kind of out there. With 9 games to go, I don't think we can be out there. We have to be out there with the right spirit and the proper disposition to play the right way and create the habits that we need to have to playoffs right down the road.
You said the other night in Washington, you said Joker is maybe turned off by the MVP race and all the noise surrounding it. What prompted that, or what have you seen that leads you to believe that he's just over it?
I didn't say he is. I said I imagined that he was. You know, I think everybody in this country, and I said I think Nikola probably feels the same way, that this conversation has just gotten completely out of hand.
Okay.
And I think for Nikola, he won it 2 years in a row, and he loves being a 2-time winner, but that's not his end-all and be-all. So he wants to help this team play the best brand of basketball going to the postseason with the ultimate goal of winning a championship. That's number 1 on his list, as well as everybody else's. But Nikola has never said to me, I'm turned off by this. I can only imagine it's hard not to be turned off by it. I am, and I try not to tune into it, but it's really hard not to see it, hear it, because it's just like running rampant. So great players in this league, as I mentioned the other night in Washington. Let's celebrate Joel Embiid, celebrate Giannis, celebrate Nikola. They're all great players, and they all would be deserving of winning the MVP this year. And let's get away from all the negativity and breaking down that's gone on way too much this year, more than I can ever remember in my 20+ years in the league.
I didn't mean to mishap.
No, that's all right.
Speaking of the great players, they're headed to town this coming week. What do you anticipate in those matchups?
Yeah, we're just worried about Milwaukee right now. We know that we have a 3-game homestand, to your point, with Philadelphia and New Orleans following that. But for me, it's more not about Nikola and Giannis. It's not about Nikola and Joel. It's about 9 games to go. Can we find a way to get some guys that aren't playing to the level we need them to play at? Can we get those guys going? Can we maintain our health? And can we find a way to play a lot more consistent basketball for 48 minutes? I think that's one thing for me that we've done a poor job of since that Chicago game. There's usually one quarter a game where we just kind of just get our ass kicked, for lack of better words. And in the playoffs, you can't have a quarter like that. You might have a possession or two, but you can have a quarter where you're getting outscored by 20 points and you're not defending and you're not executing.
It's not apples to apples, because Porzingis is a beast in his own right, and Giannis is a beast in his own right as well. So you guys threw a number of different guys at Kristaps, and he obviously had a lot of success in that first half. What are the challenges with Giannis, and is this another thing where you got to throw multiple layers of defense at him to give him problems?
Well, yeah, I mean, Giannis is a 2-time MVP winner for a reason. The guy is a one-man fast break, almost unguardable in transition. In the half court, he lives in the paint. He gets to the foul line more than anybody else in the league. He had 22 against us in game 1. And then what really makes it challenging, Mike, is that you talk about his greatness, but then you look at all the shooting they have around him. That's what scares me more than anything. So you have to show Giannis a crowd because he's that great of a player. But tomorrow is a great example of truly being a multiple effort game. You got to show Giannis a crowd and fly out to Grayson Allen, fly out to Joe Ingles, fly out to Pat Connaughton, Middleton, like all the shooting they have around him. So we did a pretty good job of taking away the 3-point shot in Milwaukee with a team that was really undermanned. But they're number 1 in scoring the last 5 games, 124 a night. Giannis is definitely a challenge. Different looks, different adjustments, because he's a great player.
How has Aaron Gordon's role, you think, changed over the course of the season? Jamal has become a little bit more integrated. Mike has become a little bit more integrated. Aaron, for a while, was carrying a lot of the scoring role and hasn't really done as much lately.
His role hasn't changed in my eyes. You know, I mean, it's the same. You know, Aaron has to be a guy that defends, rebounds, runs, plays off of Nikola, plays off of Jamal and Michael. Have to find ways to get him going on offense, to attack whatever mismatch he may have. But he's had great success, especially pre-All-Star break, of running, getting on that rim, early post-ups, playing in the dunker, defending at a high level, rebounding at a high level. So in my eyes, his role hasn't changed. It's just a matter of Aaron, as well as everybody else in our team, getting back to just playing to the best of their abilities. And we know that when we all do that, we know what we're capable of. I think lately, whether it's human nature or not, all of our guys, this isn't Aaron Gordon, but all of our guys, I think, have kind of taken a deep breath, come up for air, and that has allowed us not to play to our abilities.
You got kind of a random growing up. Was there ever a signature shoe that you just needed to have?
No, I mean, the signature shoe was Chuck Taylor, Canvas Comics. You know what I mean? And my mother would take us 5 kids down to the local store and buy those shoes. Then when my father got into college, we were lucky enough to get shoes for whatever college. So I remember getting orange Pro Keds, orange ponies, and orange Nikes at Syracuse. And I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And back then, the Nike ones had Syracuse written on the back of those. And I was like, nobody has these. So I felt that was pretty cool because I had some orange sneakers from Syracuse. But no, man, like, it's changed a lot. My kids get signature shoes. When I was growing up, I got what my mother got us.